What's up YouTube? Dan here and welcome to episode 27 of my AC Milan career mode series. So beginning today's episode with a game up against Fiorentina in the Serie A. This is going to be quite a hard game because considering Fiorentina may compete for the top 4 of the season, as you're about to see the league table. So we are currently second in the table at the moment, 1 point behind Napoli. They're currently on 33 points, but we do have a better goal difference, and maybe we can get into the first position in the next couple of episodes. So moving on to the highlights now, but I'd just like to warn you, today's episode is really good, full of transfer, because we are actually in the January transfer window now, so a lot of stuff is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 episodes, and we've got a lot of really important games coming up, the likes of Juventus in the Coppa Nazionale. We've got games up against Udinese, Inter Milan coming up in this episode, so it's going to be a really good episode, and stay tuned for more, because there's going to be a really important transfer window as well. So a lot of stuff's going to happen in this episode, and it's going to probably be the best episode of the series so far. So Royce gets a pretty lucky goal there, kind of take a deflective there, and it went over the goalkeeper, and that was another goal for Royce, and I think he's on around 25 goals this season. And my question of the day today is, who do you think has been the best player so far this season? So only the first part of the season, we've still got the second part of the season to come, but the obvious contenders are obviously going to be Hugo Lloris, Ogbonna, Balotelli, El Shaarawy maybe, Royce. We've also got Boateng as well. Had a bit of a quiet season, but still being really good. And also, just got a quick shout out. I want to do this every 2 or 3 episodes. Just shout out someone who I think is a really good YouTuber and has a really good future. And today's going to be BFL Gaming. I did talk about him in my Kagura Inform squad builder. And again, I just want to say he's made a new career mode with AS Monaco, a Liga 2 team in the French league. And he's really interesting in my opinion, so go and check out his channel. There'll be a link in the description, so please go and check out his channel. And whilst you're there, just subscribe. So an easy win there against Fiorentina, really wasn't expecting it, but a 4-0 win. And then we get De Sigli returning from injury. He's been a bit injury prone this season, and maybe he'll get that trait in the next couple of seasons. So moving on to a massive game now up against Inter Milan. So it's quite strange their formation 4-3-3, but they do play Nagatomo and Alvarez, and they are 2 defensive-minded players. So we are currently top of the table at the moment. Napoli actually lost their last game, or I think they drew it, and we have now gone top of the table, 25 goal difference. We've only lost once this season, and I can't remember who that was. No, it was Udinese, wasn't it? So a really good strike there from Royce there, getting really close there, but Handanovic made a really good save there, so he kept it at 0-0, but Royce was on fire in this game, going past the defender there. I think that's Ranocchia, who I'm probably going to buy in my Southampton career mode, because he's got really good potential, but Royce with a fantastic strike there. So the point of my Southampton career mode is to just find really young players like Sterling, Fisher, players like that. I have talked about my plans for Southampton, and see what they're like, and maybe bring them into my AC Milan, which is my main career mode still, and it won't be, I've said this so many times, but it won't be replacing my AC Milan. Southampton won't be replacing my AC Milan career mode series. But El Shaarawy with some nice passing there to Balotelli, but it was mainly the highlight of that was they got really close there. Hugo Lloris making a vital save there to keep it at 1-0, but another goal there from Royce in the 66th minute, a fantastic goal. Some nice link-up play with Balotelli and a fantastic goal into the back of the net, and that made it 2-0, a bit more comfortable at this stage. So Manuelson on the ball had a really good start to the season. Hopefully he continues this form, but he gets a free kick, and you know who's going to take it. It's going to be Marco Royce, who's still on the pitch, has 92 power, I think, at this point, and 85 curving or something, and that's a fantastic strike there. And maybe a goalkeeper from a lower Liga team probably wouldn't have saved that, so a really good free kick. And how far away it was from the goal, it was a really good free kick. So Royce getting man of the match with a 9.8 in that game. Well deserved for his 2 goals in that game. So again, we've had a bit of a story with Niang in the last couple of episodes, and here in the last couple of episodes he's been saying, I'm really going to leave the club, there's no future at the club for me. But now he might end up staying, and he's not really sure yet, so I don't really know if I should keep him because he has really good potential. He's only 18 years old and he's already a 77 rated. Also get another message here from Traore saying that he wants to go out on loan. I'm fine with that. He is quite strong and he did score a couple of goals last season, but as the squad starts to get a lot better, Traore will be stuck on the reserves for a long time, so a good decision for him. That comes with experience, which Niang needs to make a decision for his career. So I'm going to happily put Traore on the loan list and hopefully get an offer for him. So that brings me on to the transfer window, which is going to take place over the next 2 or 3 episodes. It's a really, really good transfer window, so stay tuned for this episode, and the next episode is a really good transfer window coming up. So the first player I went for was Mika Richards from Manchester City. And could you just imagine Ogbonna and Richards as a centre-back pairing? Because I know it says Mika Richards is a right-back, but he can play as a centre-back, so it's all good there. Hopefully they can accept that, but we get an offer here for Kevin Prince Boateng from Manchester City, and actually might get rid of him in the next couple of seasons because there's going to be new players coming into the team, and he's 26 years old. I know that is quite young, but there's better players than him, so I went for a mad counter offer for 55 million, just thinking that Manchester City have a lot of money, so maybe they'll go for that. So as you saw there, the unacceptable bid for Richards, and I kind of just left that transfer, like the idea of bringing in Richards into the team for a bit, kind of just forgot about it, so I didn't really continue with my kind of ideas of getting Richards into the team. So got an offer there from Mexes from Sunderland, and I don't imagine that happening in real life, but I did offer a counter offer and they rejected that counter offer, so not much going to happen with Mexes. So look at this. Lloris is a 90 rated keeper, 27 years old. I've seen people get him to like a 94, 95, so it's absolutely amazing. Really happy that I got him because Ter Stegen did make a lot of really bad mistakes last season, and as far as I've been using him, Lloris hasn't made one really bad mistake, as you've seen from the highlights. So as you see here, Emmanuelson and Royce getting the first 2 goals of the game. Emmanuelson getting one in the 13th minute and Royce getting one in the 31st minute. I decided to sim this game, 1 because I wanted to get on with the transfer window, and 2 because it's not a really good team. I think it's Brescia, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I decided to sim it. I'm a bit disappointed we didn't keep a clean sheet in the end, but did manage to score in the end. So this is the future Kovacic. I know a lot of you have been saying to get him. I actually saw him against Tottenham in real life in the Europa League, and he looks like a really tasty player, looks really good for the future. I think he's from Serbia, so definitely going to try and bring him into the team. So I was just looking around for players that I don't really want to feature in the team much longer, and I looked at Montolivo, so 1 million plus Montolivo, which adds up to around 10-11 million, so I think that's a good enough deal, considering what a good player he's going to be in the future, and Montolivo really doesn't have a future at AC Milan as he's getting a bit older. So look at this, Barcelona offer 50 million for Balotelli, absolutely crazy offer there, 87 rated, 23 years old, and valued, 30 million, so really good at the moment, playing really good football, but I counted over 60 million because they say I should put in a deal between 44 and 56 million, and I don't know if I should sell him. What would you do in that situation? Because I don't think he's the best striker around in my opinion. There's players like Pato, Jovetic, even Neymar, and I can maybe swap El Shaarawy to striker, maybe bring in like Götze or Ozil. So I've got a lot of plans for the team in the next couple of years, but don't know if Balotelli will be future, but you'll see in the next episode if they accept the counter offer. So we actually got a really good win there against Parma, a 1-0 lead, and it was actually courtesy of a penalty. So actually Balotelli missed a penalty in that game as well. So they offer 50 million. Again, I hate when clubs do that. So they offer 50 million and you put in a counter offer and they offer the same amount of money. So I decided to knock off 2 million off my counter offer, actually 3 million in the end. So 57 million, still a great bit of money I could get from that. So again, I get another transfer offer accepted for Kovacic, and what a player he will be in the future. So 77 rated, 19 years old. What a bargain I'm getting him for. So 9 million plus Montolivo adds up to around 10 million to 11 million. So we got our final game of the episode. Sorry there wasn't much gameplay in this episode, but there will be a lot more in the next episode. Just wanted to get on with the transfer window. So we're going into a game up against Catania, and it's a bit risky going into the game away from home in a sim game. So you normally get an injury or 2, or maybe even lose a game away from home. I feel a lot more comfortable at home when I'm simming a game. So Niang doesn't get an injury in the 21st minute, so it's really disappointing for him, because I might think of selling him before the end of the transfer window. And Barrientos gets the first goal of the game for Catania. We actually end up losing that game 1-0, so really disappointing there. Our second loss of the season, but we still remain top of the table. So we're finishing today's episode with an accepted offer for Kovacic, and that is our first signing of the new season. So that's about it for this episode. Can we reach maybe 10 likes and there'll be 2 episodes tomorrow? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.